The Tri-State Tornado of 1925. On March 18, 1925, the deadliest tornado in U.S. history touched down in Missouri and tore through Illinois before finally lifting in Indiana. It wasn't just a tornado, it was a monster. This single funnel stayed on the ground for 219 miles, a record no other tornado has ever come close to. For 3.5 hours, the Tri-State Tornado carved a path of destruction nearly a mile wide. Entire towns like Murfreesboro, Illinois were wiped out. More than 695 people were killed, and over 2,000 were injured. Survivors recalled the funnel looking like a wall of boiling black smoke rather than a neat cone. Scientists now believe it was likely an EF5, the most powerful rating on the enhanced Fujita scale. What makes it unbelievable is its endurance. Most tornadoes last 10 to 15 minutes. This one lasted over 200. The 1999 Bridge Creek Moore tornado. On May 3, 1999, Oklahoma faced one of the strongest tornadoes ever measured. When mobile Doppler radar locked onto the storm, it clocked wind speeds of 302 miles per hour, the highest winds ever recorded on Earth. The tornado carved through suburban neighborhoods, shredding houses down to bare foundations. Cars became airborne missiles. Pavement was ripped from roads. In some places, the landscape looked like it had been bombed. Despite its fury, the death toll was 36, tragically high, but far lower than it could have been thanks to early warnings. This tornado showed scientists the true upper limit of Earth's wind speeds, proving that tornadoes can unleash forces no human structure is designed to withstand. The Joplin Tornado of 2011. On May 22, 2011, the city of Joplin, Missouri was forever changed. A massive EF5 tornado, nearly a mile wide, struck the heart of the city with little warning. Within minutes, schools, hospitals, churches, and neighborhoods were reduced to rubble. This tornado killed 158 people, making it the deadliest single tornado in modern U.S. history. Winds topped 200 miles per hour, but what made Joplin so shocking was its timing and location. It struck a densely populated city, not open farmland. Survivors described scenes of chaos. Cars stacked like toys. A hospital partially collapsed. Rescue workers are pulling survivors from beneath twisted steel beams. The Joplin tornado became a wake-up call that even modern cities aren't safe when nature unleashes its full power. The El Reno widest tornado ever, 2013. When storm chasers intercepted a tornado near El Reno, Oklahoma on May 31, 2013, they knew it was big. What they didn't know was that it would become the widest tornado ever recorded, stretching 2.6 miles across at its peak. This tornado was so large that it didn't even look like a typical funnel. It looked like the entire horizon was spinning. Winds exceeded 295 miles per hour. Sadly, its erratic path and sheer size made it especially deadly for storm chasers, including 3 well-known researchers from the Twistex team who were caught and killed. The El Reno tornado reminded the world that chasing storms is not just thrilling. It's dangerous, even for the most experienced scientists. The Bangladesh tornado of 1989. When we think of tornadoes, we think of the U.S. Midwest. But the deadliest single tornado in world history didn't happen in America. It happened in Bangladesh on April 26, 1989. This monstrous funnel struck the towns of Saturia and Maniganj, killing over 1,300 people and injuring 12,000. Whole villages were obliterated. The tornado left 80,000 people homeless in a matter of minutes. What makes this tornado so unbelievable isn't just its death toll. It's that many of the homes were made of lightweight materials, offering no protection. It showed how devastating tornadoes can be in countries without the resources for advanced warning systems and storm shelters. The 2013 Moore, Oklahoma tornado Oklahoma is no stranger to tornadoes, but on May 20th, 2013, another EF5 tore through Moore, almost following the same path as the 1999 monster. This time, it struck during the afternoon, catching schools in session. 2 schools were destroyed, and tragically, several children lost their lives. Entire neighborhoods were swept clean, with houses erased down to their slabs. Winds peaked near 210 miles per hour, and the tornado caused nearly $2 billion in damage. Moore's back-to-back encounters with EF5 tornadoes within 15 years seemed almost unbelievable. Scientists studied the storm closely to understand why this particular region is such a hotspot for megatornadoes. The 1929 Rock Springs, Texas tornado. This tornado, which is not as well known, is regarded to be one of the most violent in the history of Texas. In the year 1929, on April 12, a tornado with an EF5 rating devastated the little village of Rock Springs. Within a short period of time, it was able to demolish 235 of the town's 247 buildings, leaving only a few structures remaining. It is a marvel that there were only 37 fatalities, considering the magnitude and power of the tornado, even though the destruction was nearly complete. Several survivors reported seeing horses, carts, and even entire houses being lifted into the air and taken away by the tornado. Even though it entirely removed a town from the map, there were still those who survived to recount the story. This is what makes it so unbelievable. The 1974 super outbreak. Sometimes it's not just one tornado, it's dozens. From April 3rd to 4th, 1974, the United States experienced the largest outbreak of tornadoes in history at that time. 148 tornadoes across 13 states. One of the worst hit was Xenia, Ohio, where a violent EF5 tornado killed 32 people and destroyed half the town. The outbreak as a whole left over 300 people dead and thousands injured. What made the super outbreak unbelievable was not only its size, but also its scale of destruction. For the first time, people realized that multiple EF4s and EF5s could strike in a single day, overwhelming even the most prepared communities. The 2011 super outbreak. Once again, in April of 2011, there was an outbreak that broke even more records than the one that occurred in 1974. The United States of America was struck by 360 tornadoes over the course of 4 days, including 15 EF4s and 4 EF5s. The states of Alabama and Mississippi were impacted the hardest. Only the Tuscaloosa-Birmingham EF4 tornado was responsible for the deaths of 64 individuals and left a scar throughout the central region of Alabama. The outbreak as a whole resulted in the deaths of 324 people and the displacement of thousands of others. In such a short period of time, the sheer quantity of tornadoes that occurred astounded scientists. It demonstrated that outbreaks can cause extensive destruction on par with hurricanes in terms of their capacity to do so. The Andover, Kansas tornado of 1991. Last but not least, we must not overlook the devastating tornado that struck Andover on April 26, 1991. In addition to having winds exceeding 260 miles per hour, it was rated as an EF5 tornado. Although entire neighborhoods were destroyed, the video footage of this storm is what will leave a lasting impression. Chasers and television teams were able to film images of the funnel ripping through homes in a crystal clear manner, demonstrating in real time how quickly and completely the destruction occurred. It became one of the tornadoes that was examined the most throughout the history of the world. A great number of people in the United States saw for the very first time what an EF5 appeared to be like up close, and it was a horrifying experience. But with each storm comes knowledge. Scientists learn more about wind speeds, storm structure, and how to improve warnings. Survivors share their stories, reminding us that behind the numbers are real people, real families, and real lives changed forever. Tornadoes may be unbelievable in their power, but they're also a reminder of resilience. Communities rebuild, warnings improve, and humanity keeps learning how to face nature's most violent storm head-on.